Hey, everybody.
All right, guys. I don't know if I want to make this a printed panel podcast thing or not, but I'm really pissed off. And, I made notes. We don't script anything on this show, and I'm probably not going to go from the script, but I was so fired up, and have been for weeks. And Garen and I have had 24 conversations about how angry I am. And I've been...
And you don't like being angry.
No.
It's funny. Some people, they look at David sometimes, people look at David and they're like, oh man, he must be upset all the time. Because he's a big guy, and you think...
No, I just have resting bitch face.
No, you really don't, though. It's not like some... Anyway, so... David's a pretty sensitive, good person, and it's really kind of hard to genuinely make him angry. It really is.
But today,
after
weeks and weeks of trying to put together, since the end of May, why I'm angry, it finally those shower thoughts came together, and I finally figured out why I'm upset. And I'm going to tell you, some of you guys are going to turn the video off after I say what I'm going to say, and I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't care. If you don't like me after this, don't like me. But this needs to get said. So, I'm upset because my white privilege has been shaken. Now, I would have never been a person who said that I had white privilege. In fact, I used to find the term insulting.
And offensive.
And offensive, but it's not. The truth is, I do have white privilege, and I didn't realize it. I didn't realize how much white privilege I have. And you can feel it right now. You can feel it when you see videos of these rioters, when you can see a black man being held down and killed on the street.
In broad daylight, with 3 other police officers watching.
With a crowd watching. He died crying for his mother in front of a crowd, and nobody had the balls to run up to 4 armed people and stop them. And here's the truth. I don't have to face that as a person. I'm not going to get up in the morning and ride down to get my Weigel's biscuit on the way to record my comic book podcast, and because I'm a different color, have to face the possibility of the end of my existence because someone doesn't like me, because someone thinks I'm different. So,
the reality is neither of us have been pulled out of our cars and held at gunpoint because we matched a description.
No, I have been pulled out of my car and held at gunpoint, but mostly because I'm an asshole, not because...
it's separate incident.
It has nothing to do with the color of my skin. It has nothing to do with my culture. So, I'm going to say that our privilege... If you have fought the idea of white privilege and you're angry and you're uncomfortable, right now it's because you're feeling the exact same thing that I'm feeling. How in the hell can it be 2020 and people aren't equal? Not just black people. Why are trans people not equal? Why are gay people not equal? And for the gay community, I owe you an apology. Garen loves his Let's Talk Comics, and the first time he dropped that on me in that silly, corny voice, casually, out of a lack of thought and a lack of sensitivity, I said, damn dude, you sound like a gay 80s weatherman. And you know what? Maybe nobody heard that and offended by it. Maybe people just laughed, but you know what? I walked out of here and I felt bad about it after the fact. I can give the excuse.
It wasn't offensive to me because, we're friends and it's just, we pick on each other all the time.
But what that descriptor...
Yeah.
What I should have said is you sounded like a corny 80s weatherman. And so I used gay as synonymous for corny or synonymous for lesser. And I shouldn't have said it. And I hope it really didn't offend anybody. I hope calling attention to it now doesn't offend anybody. But I'm not that person, and I don't want to be that person. And so...
Does everybody on here know what just happened this week, too? LGBT rights were taken away. Our dear president... took away their protections. No, he took away their protections from being discriminated against when it comes to healthcare.
But this isn't a political issue.
This isn't about being political. I'm saying this is an attack on people who are not all the same. We don't have to all be white.
But
we don't have to all be the same. We're not all cisgender. We can be anything.
Hold on. I don't want to talk about Trump. I don't want to talk about politics. This isn't a political issue. This is the issue of the right of every human to exist if they are not harming another human.
Right.
Now, George Floyd. Why George Floyd? George Floyd was a criminal. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit.
So what?
He was not in the act of hurting, raping, killing another human. He was not damaging another person. The reason that George Floyd has become the face of this movement, of this feeling, of this activity, is because he was martyred because of some reason. Now, I don't know what's in those cops' hearts. Maybe they were having a bad day, so let's go kill somebody. But he was the person chosen, and you can't look at it and tell me that there was not a racial component.
Is it me that just has such a hard time understanding how it was okay? How these other cops didn't go, wait, hold on, get up off that guy. Come on, no, he's fine. Let him alone. Why they didn't stop him? What made that more important? Why is it nonchalant? But here's the thing: it happens all the time. This wasn't just George Floyd. This was Ahmaud that was killed in Georgia because they thought he could have been matching some description, so they ran him down and murdered him in broad daylight. This is the woman who was sleeping in her bed when the no-knock warrant came in, and they murdered her in her bed. Shot her 8 times while her husband was trying to defend his home. Arrested him because he shot back at the cops who weren't supposed to be there. This is what we're outraged about. This is what we're upset about. This happens all the time. It doesn't happen to me.
Now,
but
I want to speak to something politically, even though I'm not making a political statement. If you're out there right now and you're offended by Black Lives Matter, you're an asshole. Because saying Black Lives Matter does not mean that your life doesn't matter if you're not black.
It doesn't. That has nothing to do with it. Black Lives Matter is what the focus is. You have to say, listen, yes, we all matter, but right now, these are the people that are hurting. We have to focus on them.
We don't even have to say we all matter. You know what? We can just say Black Lives Matter. Because
that includes everybody. That should include every human being.
Thank you. So, that's the thing, though, guys. We have allowed ourselves to become tribal. We're Republican or Democrat or Libertarian or whatever. We're American or Canadian or Mexican. I hate to tell everyone this, but we are one people on one planet, and there ain't nowhere else for us to go. We can launch into space, but we got to come back here. We don't have any way to perpetrate living amongst the stars. That's some sci-fi bullshit, okay? We are...
Yeah. As we're both wearing our sci-fi
Yeah,
shirts.
it's funny. You went Starfleet, I went Star Wars, but as we do. But what I'm saying is, we have to stop dividing ourselves in these neat cookie cutter little categories. I'm for Trump. I'm for Pelosi. I'm for whoever. I don't care. We are all human. The color of your skin don't matter. Where you were born don't matter. I'm tired of hearing about immigration. They're not immigrating from Mexico to the United States. They're living on Earth. It's the only place we got.
There's no way we're going to stop borders from happening in this world.
But there shouldn't be any.
But that's going to happen.
I understand that's going to happen, right. And it's off the topic.
But what we have to do is stop saying that we don't help other people. I mean, how many times have other people helped us when we needed it? Hurricane Katrina came through. We got tons of things from other people. But yet, when other things happen in other countries, we've stopped giving to them. We've dropped out of the WHO. Why?
Well,
I mean,
I want to say that this upset, if you're out there right now and you're feeling as angry and as on the verge of tears and as frustrated and as powerless as I am right now, and believe me, I understand. I don't get what it's like to actually be the victim of this. I'm not victimized as a straight white man. I'm not. I know I'm not. I can't feel what it's like to be black. I'm not saying I understand. And as a matter of fact, I want to tell you, I'm sorry I can't understand. But what I can say is it's not okay for you to be made to feel the way you feel. This is what people mean by being woke. Now, all of you right now have a choice. You don't have to listen to what I have to say. You don't have to like what I'm saying. But you do have a choice on whether or not you continue to be woke or you go back to sleep. Maybe everything that's happened in this world in 2020 that is boiling over and is about to erupt into violence is good. Because I have to say that this shit makes me uncomfortable. But that's good, nobody grows from a place of comfort. If you're sitting on your couch, the only thing you're growing is your belt size or your fat ass. If you're comfortable, you're not growing. If you're uncomfortable, there is room for growth and learn something. Get uncomfortable and stay that way. Be uncomfortable with what's going on, because if we are and we do small things, we decide that we're not going to accept this going forward, we can change it.
You can shift what's happened to you. If you've used this N-word, if you've used that in your life, stop using it. If you've thought it in your head, stop yourself. You can do it. There's nothing in your life that's ever made you a racist other than you.
Well,
yes, you may have had bad influences in your life, and you may have had your parents that said these words, but you don't have to do it.
And stop tolerating the people who do.
Stop agreeing with people around you. When someone says Blue Lives Matter, you go, hold on.
Fuck Blue
These
lives.
people, they're in a job.
Fuck.
They're not blue lives. They're human beings that have taken this position. And many of them are racist. Many of them have murdered. Many of them have hurt people because of their skin color, because of fear.
I'm going to say, I'm not necessarily anti-cop. But what I am saying is that when you put that uniform on, you don't become a blue life. You are still a person. You are still a person who has to make a choice. And I'll call on each and every person in any version of law enforcement to make the choice to not allow these things to continue. I'm not telling you should quit your job. I am telling you that if you see somebody still kneeling on a black man's neck, maybe kick the asshole in the head. Maybe stop being afraid of what the cameras are going to say and stand up for what is right and what is human.
The people of this country, if something like that happened, if someone had protected George Floyd, the people of this country would have backed you up 150%. You would have had thousands of people marching in your name because you did the right thing. There's nothing wrong with doing the right thing that doesn't cost you anything. It may cost you your job. So what? You'll get another one.
Well, it might cost you your life. But you know what? I am willing to lay down my life to do what's right. And that is supposed to be what the cops stand for. Now, that's the thing. I have a job, and I'm not going to talk about my job because I'm not allowed to, because I want to keep it. But I have a job that affords me a life that I can enjoy. I buy goofy little video cameras so we can make our podcast together, and I love it, and I appreciate my life. But a police officer is doing a job. It does not circumvent your requirement to treat people and to be better. In fact, when you button into that uniform and you put that badge on, you are supposed to exemplify the rightness of the world. You are supposed to protect the law, and before the law, the people.
The words serve and protect are on almost every police car out there. And public servant, it's what they are. Police officers are public servants.
Not enforcer.
Not enforcers. You're not killers.
Not tough guy.
You're public servants. I have known so many police officers in my life who are wonderful human beings that would never have hurt a soul, who would have given their lives to save someone else. But when you see this, you're just disappointed. You're disappointed in who these people are and what we've become as a society. Where this is okay, it's not okay. That's why these protests have been going on for weeks, because it's not okay. It's not okay.
And they should keep going. Guys, I don't want to
peaceful protests are the best way to do this. No rioting, guys. Please don't riot. You don't have to do that,
bullshit. Hold on.
You think that's a necessity?
Hold on. Let's take this to comic books. Now,
okay.
I've thought long and hard about this. I got three things I want to cover, and Jonathan Hickman's X-Men is the one.
Yeah.
So Jonathan Hickman has written a beautiful story. We happen to have House and Powers right here at hand. Hey guys, if you need an example, this is written by a white guy, but damn, he gets it. He's woke. See, when the X-Men were created, amongst a bunch of other characters, they were created to bring to suburban America, Johnny little white kid, the idea of inequality and injustice and people being hated for the way they're born. And the idea was to parallel, without including skin color, the idea that you're not responsible for your birth and the world hates and fears mutants because of the way they're born.
Right.
It's a powerful message, and it's been going on since the 60s, and we've made very, very little friggin' headway with it.
So you
but
can thank You can thank Jack Kirby and Stan Lee.
Damn right.
They did
rest their souls. They had to. Just doing that makes them amazing people.
But they also created Black Panther. They also created Luke Cage. You know.
So
yeah.
A storyline came out 2018, into 2018.
Yeah.
House and Powers. And guys, we're gonna get a little bit comic booky for a minute. So I've been pretending to share this on my own social media. So if you don't want to hear the comic book part, fine. But listen to me. There's a point here. Charles Xavier learns that the world is always going to hate and fear mutants, and he's been trying to do this peacefully and actually police the mutants that are evil. They're not evil. They're outraged. He's been trying to form a group to police the mutants and prevent them from fighting and hurting humans. And eventually, through the story, he takes all the mutants and he puts them on a little island, and the entire race of mutants are going to live there. And they say to the rest of the world, you know what? We're going to be here. We're going to give you some gifts. We're going to let you live longer. We're going to cure your diseases, and we're going to help you financially.
All we ask
is leave us alone.
Accept us as who we are and leave us alone.
Well, guess what, guys? They don't. The humans still hate and fear mutants.
Not all humans,
but some.
But a bunch.
And
whole countries have just been against the mutants.
And what
for
Xavier,
no reason other than because they're mutants.
They're born that way. And what Xavier says in the story is, I've tried this the peaceful way. It doesn't work. Guys, the protests right now are the world peacefully, for the most part, telling you things don't work. The riots are coming to the realization that peace isn't enough. What's coming next in this country and across this world is people who are no longer going to stand for inequality, injustice. We're no longer going to stand for people being hurt, persecuted, made to feel indifferent, whatever, because of the color of their skin or who they love or anything. We're tired of that.
If you're angry about it, do something. Say something. Talk about it. Talk to your friends. Talk to your friends that you know it's going to make uncomfortable. You know what? You may lose a couple of friends, but guess what? You may make more friends than you knew. You may find people that you never knew were compatible with you. Honestly, it's a big deal. If you work in a retail establishment, you work in a food service place, be nice to people. It doesn't matter who they are. Who cares? It takes nothing to be nice to people. In fact, I've found in my life selling things, the nicer I am to people, the nicer they are back. Just kind of how it is.
So the last thing I want to talk about here, because I've generally said what I wanted to say, and this may not be the last time I have something to say, but it's certainly
you'll have more to say. I know you too well.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to stop being angry. I'm going to stay woke. But symbols. If I wore a rebel flag t-shirt, I am choosing to ignore the opinion of others. Now that's my right under the Constitution of these here United States. I'll stand for what I want to stand for. Fuck you. Fuck you. You don't like me saying that? Come find me. You won't like my response. When you choose to wear a symbol, whether it's a swastika,
it's just the battle flag of the Republic. That's
bullshit. It tells someone else that they're less than you.
That's right.
And I'm tired of it.
It's meant that for a very long time. We're talking whitewashing history from the Civil War. I'm sorry. That was a flag. There was a group of people that lost the fight. The country was reintegrated. That flag should have never been flown again. There's a reason that in Germany there's no Nazi flags. There's a reason that if you Heil Hitler in Germany, you are arrested immediately and put in jail. There's a reason for those things. They learned their lessons. Why haven't we learned this lesson from these people that lost a war? They should never have been revered. They should never have been given this, these people just fight. No. They were fighting for slavery. That's what they were doing.
If you want to be proud of being Southern, which I am proud of being from Tennessee. Even though I was born in Arkansas.
I'm a proud Virginia Southern boy, born and raised. That's where I'm from.
You can be proud of being from the South. You can love your homeland without putting out racist or bigoted propaganda. There is no value. You can't take it back. You can't because we need to learn to care about other people's feelings. It's not hard. It's not, I ain't going to be politically correct. No, you're going to be ignorant. You are choosing to close your eyes and refuse to see that you, through that act of rebellion, are actually oppressing other people.
And you don't have to be politically correct. Just be correct.
Just
be a good person.
I think all my fuck yous and assholes and all that shit might not be real politically correct.
But okay, so this is the last thing I'm going to say about this. And I was raised Methodist. I was raised to be a good person. I was raised to follow the tenets of the Bible. And one of the big things is love thy neighbor as thyself. That is one of the things. That's one of the many things that show great from the Bible. But that's my big thing. And then Jesus says, "Everybody love everybody." And that's not a quote. He didn't actually say those words, but it was pretty close. The reality is,
I think the Beatles said that,
but okay, that's possible too. But there's nothing wrong with you saying, "Okay, I'm done with hate."
Well,
done with hate.
I'm here to tell you right now, if
it may take a while,
if some racist asshole chose Batman's symbol to represent killing gay people, trans people, black people, Hispanic people, purple people, I don't care.
There'd be a riot.
Well, there would be, because you ain't taking my bat symbol. But you know what I would do? I'd stop wearing my Batman shirts, because I don't want to be associated with anything that oppresses and hurt other people. A friend of mine moved to New York. Now, I'm not going to mention his name, but he had a conversation with me, and I really didn't want him to go because he was a very, very dear friend of mine. I really cared a lot about him, still do. And he said to me, "I'm a gay man. Living here in Knoxville, Tennessee, I run into places where I am massively uncomfortable just because of who I am." And I said to myself, inside my head, without saying it out loud to him, I thought, really? No, surely not. And I realized I couldn't feel that. There's nowhere here I feel uncomfortable.
There's no one. No one should feel uncomfortable anywhere.
That is again a privilege thing. I am privileged based on my assumed orientation and my skin tone and my gender. Because guys, I hate to say this, but women are still facing some of these same inequalities that the others are.
Daily.
But guys, I can't believe in 2020 we are dealing with these problems still. This should not be happening. And what I'm going to ask you guys to do, look, share our video if you want to, but have a conversation. I'm going to say that the hashtag Unite is really cool. The hashtag Fuck Racism is amazing. But more than that, Fuck Bigotry. Because it isn't just, I'm not taking away from Black Lives Matter, it isn't just black. It's inequality in any form. What I'd like to propose is that everybody who feels something says something. If we all did that and changed our own hearts and became aware of that one time that you said something you shouldn't have said, when I called Garen a gay 80s weatherman, you will become a better person and you will be better for it. And more than that, you might find that by waking up to what's going on and rethinking your choices and rethinking what you support, you can make a difference. This can stop in a nonviolent fashion, but it involves the world standing together. Because I can tell you this scenario could have happened. That asshole's kneeling on George Floyd's neck, and one person runs forward and kicks him in his fucking chest. And the cops are going to pull their guns because now you've assaulted a police officer, and that whole crowd falls in behind them. They're not going to shoot everybody. Now, you're probably going to get arrested, but that's okay. That's okay.
You saved a life.
That's what your camera's for. You were killing a man, and I stepped in and stopped you. It wasn't because I hated you. It's because I wasn't going to stand for something that was wrong.
This past week in Knoxville, Tennessee, we had a Karen situation. Had a young lady who would not let residents of a complex into the pool because they were black. Oh, I don't know you. You don't live here. I do. Here's where I live. My apartment number. I don't. No, you don't live there. I know a person lives there. You don't live there. Yes, we do. You know my driver's license. Then she calls them names. She calls them, I don't know, no racial slurs. But what happens to this employee? Was she fired? No. She was just suspended. Hopefully she'll be fired because this made the national news.
Well, it shouldn't require it making the national news to get her fired. And not only should that person be fired, but there ought to be some sensitivity classes they ought to take. There ought to be a whole lot more there that should happen. It is not okay. There needs to be standards put in place that none of this is okay. Look, I am a gun-toting, I'm going to say redneck. I spent all weekend fixing up my motorcycle. But you know what? I don't have any hatred in my heart for anybody's sexuality, anybody's race, anybody's religion, where anybody's from. You know what I have? I have a general idea that I love humans. I love most people. Now, there are some people I don't love. Can't say that I love the guy that stood on George Floyd's neck. Can't say that I love people who molest kids or who hurt other people or who cause others pain through dumbass shit. It ain't about me. It ain't about me. None of this is about me. And I guess I do have one more point. Stop with the idea that you need to self-identify with people. Well, I got black friends. Hey, do you know I got black friends? That makes me all right. I got black friends. I got gay friends. Yeah. Hell, I took my gay friends to church. Fuck that shit. So stop trying to do the white Karen version of being that. You can be yourself.
The quote is from Dear White People, your weed dealer Tyrone is not your friend. So yeah, that's true. I mean, you may have black friends, but if you said
no.
if you said all lives matter, you don't have black friends because they're not your friend. You think they're your friends, but they're not.
If you say you've got black friends, you don't have black friends. If you say you have friends,
then you may have friends of all colors and races because it doesn't matter.
But the minute you qualify it as I have black friends or I have gay friends or I have trans friends, you're bigoted because you are making them different.
See, this is the thing.
Sometimes I have white friends.
One of the reasons
you're my white friend.
I'm the one guy. This is the reason I love Star Trek because they are inclusive of everybody, and there have been many episodes through every season have talked about racism. They may have couched it in, hey, this planet has two different types of people.
The black and white people.
Yeah, well, that was the TOS. Yeah,
one was black on the right, one was black on the left, one was white on the right and white on the left.
Yeah, But that was racism. That's all it was talking about was racism. So Voyager has an episode like that, and so Next Generation has 2 or 3 like that about racism. These are things that this is one of the reasons I love these shows because they talk about these things, and they talk about it in a very sci-fi way. They're like, hey, listen, as a group, we don't, as human beings, we don't care anymore. We don't care about money. We don't care about race. We don't care about anything. We're accepting of everybody because we all have jobs to do. We all have things we have to do and take care of.
There is one place that racism's okay. You can hate elves in Skyrim. That's it. It's the only place.
Why elves in Skyrim?
Because everybody fucking hates elves in Skyrim.
Okay, all right.
No, go be a dark elf in Skyrim and just walk around and get like racism done to you. It's wonderful.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but I'll
pass. I'll pass. So
that's it. That's the only place it's okay. If you need to feel racism, get yourself any given game system because I swear to God it's on all of them except for maybe the original Nintendo, and there may be a port coming soon. You can go to Skyrim and you can be racist. That's it.
Is there not an 8-bit version of Skyrim?
Not yet. Give it time. Guys, I'm sorry. I needed to say this. No, I'm not sorry. Fuck you. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, this needed to be said.
We've been talking about this for a while, and the reality is that the outrage is real. I mean, I'm not black. I never will be, and I can't put myself in your shoes. I apologize. What I can do as a human being is I can support you, and I can say, "Good for you." What can I do? Please let me know how I can help. If it means supporting a black-owned business, awesome. If that just means being nice to people, I'll do that too.
Most of all, what it means is not standing for racism.
Yeah.
Or standing for bigotry.
And when you see it, call it out. Hey, that's not cool.
Although I am going to say I think we should abolish all marriage. I don't think gay marriage is fair. Not because I don't think gays should get married. I just think marriage is a bad idea.
All right, so I'm not going now with that one because I like my wife. All right, are we done?
You can keep your wife without being married.
No, then weird things can happen. No, so anyway, so I know my wife too well.
Oh my!
I love
All
you.
right, guys.
I love you, honey. I promise.
Hope we made you think. And if we didn't, you're a dick. Okay, love you. Bye.
Black Lives Matter.